Hello everybody and welcome to this month's Anime Paint Night. For this month, we have our yearly tradition of doing Kirby right before Iconicon. We always love to do that. So, we're going to be making our own paper doll Kirby this month, okay? So inside the kit, you'll have Kirby's face. Then you'll have 5 copy ability crowns. Yes, 5 copy ability crowns. I just have one for today to demonstrate. Then you'll have a reference sheet that actually shows you the different copy ability crowns and what they look like and what their colors are supposed to look like and such. Yes, indeed. So we've got those. In addition, you'll have a watercolor kit if you requested it. And outside of that, though, those are the things that we provide you. You'll also get our other parts of Kirby, the feet and the arms and stuff like that. Then you'll have the instructions of how to attach the crowns and such. Yes. In addition to the instructions attaching the crowns, you'll need the supplies to attach the different pieces of Kirby. So you'll have your thumbtack to poke the holes in the respective areas. And then you'll have your brass fasteners to make sure that everything stays secure. So that should be all the supplies inside the kit. And you should have 6 brass fasteners. And you should also get a pair of scissors. There won't be any in the kit, but get a pair of scissors. And in addition, of course, highly recommend getting some water for your watercolors and maybe some paper towel. But outside of that, let's get started. Alrighty, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to paint Kirby itself. So I highly recommend painting Kirby first before you cut him out. In addition, do not do what I do. In this, video, you'll see that, Kirby gets a little curled up because I decided to cut Kirby out a little bit before Kirby was fully dry. So wait till Kirby is fully dry before you actually, start cutting out, the face. And that goes also for, the body parts and stuff like that. So, his feet and the crown and the arms and stuff like that. Make sure it's all dry before you actually do it. Now, Kirby is pink, but you can also make Kirby whatever color you want. You can, do whatever you want and stuff like that, you know? For example, I know on the reference sheet, Ninja Kirby is pink. That's usually what happens in, the modern day Kirbys and stuff. But back in the day, Ninja for Kirby Superstar used to be purple. So if you want to make purple Ninja Kirby, feel free. Or if you want to make, I don't know, yellow Chef Kirby, blue Jet Kirby, whatever, you can do that for sure. I'm not going to stay on this panel and you watching me paint Kirby all the way through. We don't need to see that. So we're just going to move on to our next portion. Okay, see you there. Alrighty, so next what we'll do is we'll work on the hands and the feet. Again, whatever color you decide to do is totally fine, but staying consistent. I did go for the classic pink Kirby, so I'm going to paint the arms accordingly. And if you do the classic Kirby, the arms are pink, but the feet are usually red. So I'll let you finish coloring that, and remember, wait till it dries before you actually cut it out. Okay, we'll see you at the next portion. Alrighty, now after we've done the feet, the arms, and little Kirby's face himself, we'll do the copy ability crowns. Whatever copy ability crown you'd like to do, or if you want to paint all the copy ability crowns, you can feel free to do that. Just be, mindful, cut it out after it fully dries and such. But yeah, go ahead and take your time with this. Enjoy, and you can make your own color variations with the crowns. It's totally fine. But yeah, as you can see, I'm working on Ninja Kirbys and such. So yeah, feel free. See you at the next portion. Alrighty, so our next portion is actually going to be making sure that we cut out our little items that we've colored. Make sure they're dry for the 4th time, of course. But yeah, make sure you cut them out and everything. Cut along the dotted lines. Pretty simple stuff. We'll start with the face, and then we'll move on to the other portions. Alrighty, everything should be cut out now. So you've got your feet. Yep. Now, the feet, you can, tell that it's going in the right direction by following the loop of in the direction of the feet and stuff. So it should be pointed to the left and the right if you've got it correctly. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your thumbtack, poke the holes in the respective circle areas to prepare for the brass fasteners. And just do that for every single circle, okay? And then we'll move on. All right, time to attach things. You're going to take the brass fastener, and you're going to take one part of the limbs. You're going to make sure it's aligned with the circle there. And you're just going to poke the brass fastener, make sure it's in that nice sharp portion. There you go. And you poke right on through. Just be careful, okay? Especially with the thumbtack portion. Then you're going to fold it down alongside of the body, making sure the brass fastener is hidden from the back. And once it's there, then you can actually move it a little bit. And then you're going to repeat the process for every single one of these. So for the next feet, there you go. Poke it through. Make sure it connects. There you go. And lay down the brass fastener. Brass fastener. My apologies. Brass fastener. There you go. Then you're going to do the same thing for the arms. Again, make sure that it can go through like so. Great. But we want to make sure that we go through the body first, right? So we poke through. Good. Poke through. Good. And then fold down. Fold down. Excellent. Excellent. And then you're going to do that for the last arm here. There you go. Poke through the front first. Then the arm. There you go. Make sure it's pressed in nice. Lay down the brass fastener, and then you should have a Kirby. A crownless Kirby, but a Kirby. And it's V-move and it's our moves. Yay. All right, let's move on. All right, so now that you've already got your Kirby here, now it's time to put the crown on top. Literally, just going to go ahead and take that little push pin, put the holes right on through. Try to align it with those top two holes there. And you'll go ahead and get your brass fasteners, put it through nice and carefully, and then you'll be able to have your Kirby crown. And you can feel free to interchange which ones. I didn't end up painting the actual crown itself, but you can feel free to do that on your own. And that's pretty much your Kirby there. Now, I just always want to remind you all, Iconicon is coming May 30th. That's right, May 30th from 10 a.m. all the way to 3:30 p.m., okay? So feel free to come on out, enjoy some fandom stuff, and even bring your Kirby if you want to. But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your wonderful month, and thanks for signing up for Anime Paint Night. All right, have a great one. Bye-bye.